City Pop Part 2. You guys have been waiting for it. Now here it is. So first of all, I want to apologize for yet again being absent for over a year. I'm in my second to final year at German high school at the moment, which is internationally appreciated for having a pretty high standard, but that of course does have its costs. You either have hobbies or you get good grades at German high school. It's your choice. But the good news is that the video that there's a sequel to, called How to Make City Pop, absolutely blew up for my standards. I've been getting lots of positive feedback, and probably thanks to that video, we're at over 400 subscribers. I mean, compared to big YouTubers, that's not a lot either, so if you want to see more, subscribe. That also makes me make more videos, because I see that you guys are liking this content. And like I said, I've been getting lots of positive comments from you guys, which some of them I'm gonna answer now. Great video. The Japanese city pop is actually kind of steely Dan sang in Japanese. I'm ho. Cheers from Japan. P.S. I recommend the band called Kikuchi. Their latest album sounds like modern city pop for 2020s. Nice one. Gonna listen to that. It's an honor for me that even you guys from Japan are seeing this video and even giving me feedback like that. It's absolutely amazing. For the tools you had, this was amazing. The chords, bro. Is that positive or negative? I don't want to seem arrogant or anything like that, but I mean, it's true. Have an FL Studio and just a couple of guitars lying around. It wasn't something that you could do in the 80s, but now that you have all these computers and stuff and even free plugins you can download, it's way easier to produce songs like this, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity. Maybe you could try Vaporwave for your next video. Almost. Yeah, I've already tried making some Vaporwave as well, but there's just too many tutorials out there. There's many other people that can explain very well how to make Vaporwave, and to be honest, in order to be able to write a song, you just gotta feel it, man. I don't think anybody really writes songs saying, well, I want to include a double dominant, or I want to do a 2-3-5-1 chord structure, which we're gonna come to in a second. That A diminished that nobody gets right is an E flat dominant. That's the chord. That's the chord we were looking for. Great video. What's that string VSTI though? I love how it sounds. That is actually a sample that I made in Ableton. It's complicated to explain this. If you want to see a video about how to make that, give this a thumbs up and tell me in the comments down below. And some of you guys have been asking me that too. The brass plugin was DSK Brass. That is even free, and for it being free, it's pretty good. Make FL Studio an acceptable DAW again. Yeah, especially for these kind of songs. You normally just produce EDM with FL Studio, but you can pretty much produce everything. FL Studio is just a tool, but a really good one. Now here's the first thing I have improved in my city pop song, 3 years. We need to address the elephant in the room. The key ingredient in city pop you don't mention is extremely sharp musicianship, something you don't get with straight tempo locked MIDI drums and all over the place slap bass. Thanks for that tip, and indeed the bass line is what I have improved in my city pop song, because I have noticed it sounds pretty much like Asian city pop, but still a bit too Western for me. What you notice in a lot of city pop songs is that the bass line doesn't really line up with the bass note of the chord. Does that sound confusing? It does to me as well. But that's actually the case in most songs, which kind of makes them really boring. For example, if you have an E minor chord, your bass note is gonna be an E, and the bass line is also gonna be around that. And if we're just looking at the first chord of the verse of 3 years, then we'll notice that I did make the bass line like that, although I wasn't originally planning to make it like that. You can see that we're kind of moving around the B minor chord with a 7th, which is to be expected, but that's not what we want. We have to look at the specific arpeggio for the chord we want to play the bass line for, and then take some notes that are not the bass notes, but that are rather interesting as a bass line. I'm gonna show you an example of a city pop song right here. After all, the rule of funky or jazzy music is to break the rules and try out something new. That's how you discover stuff. So I've come up with this new bass line for the verse. With a little twist at the end so that it's more in between the notes. That's the thing with city pop and funky music in general as well, is that you gotta include some cross rhythms so that it doesn't sound straightforward, but like it says, funky and kind of jumbled up. Now let's look at the pre-chorus. Previously it was like this. Now it's like this. It's also a good idea to lead the melody of your bass to the opposite of your main melody or your chord melody, which I did, because the chords were going down like this. First it was a B minor 7, then the same chord with an A in the bass. So the melody was kind of going down, and what I made with the bass is this. And after that I've included a slight fall, which I was also inspired to do by other city pop songs. Also, I found out something about the chords. I didn't change the ones in my song, I was happy with them, but nonetheless, unlike I expected, there are some pretty standard chords also in Japan, which are included in many city pop songs, or rather chord structures. You've probably all heard a chord scheme like this before. That's the most standard chord scheme you could ever get. Hence why these songs are called 4-chord songs. These songs are pretty common in the West, while in Japan there's actually a different chord structure that occurs in many different songs. I found that out thanks to a guy called Gavin Leeper, who was even recommended under my video, and Gavin, shout out to you. Thanks to that, this was actually an eye-opener for me. Because a similarly typical chord structure in Japan is actually a 2-3-5-1 structure, which, after I found that out, I heard in many city pop songs. For example, who guessed it, in Plastic Love. Because that's a 2-3-5-1. If you consider the one at the end the 1, which you typically do. It just has slightly different variations of the chords. And like I said, in many other Japanese songs. In fact, it is so typical that I myself, while not even being aware of this being a typical chord structure, have included this in my own song at this exact point. So, you want to make it sound Japanese? You could include that chord structure, or you may try something different. I think, especially because of songs like Shyness Boy or I Can't Stop the Loneliness by Anri, who used this chord structure quite a lot, and because of that, maybe it got quite overused. So, you want to try something different? You're always free to do that. Okay, there's the changes. What do you think of them? Tell me in the comments down below. Was the old one better, or did I in fact improve it? But now you're probably asking yourselves, where's the full song? I want to see a music video. Me too. I want to see one too, and I actually want to shoot one. I don't really want to publish it without a music video. If I'm publishing it, it's gonna be for real. I'm actually still looking for an opportunity to do this. It might not be the most advanced music video ever, but I just want to publish a song. Gotta have a music video for that, come on. And also, I'm not yet quite sure if I'm gonna include a guitar solo in it, or if I want to have a different instrument play one. I was thinking maybe a saxophone or something similar to that, some brass or reed type instrument. And if any one of you guys wants to contribute to this song by playing a solo, then you can reach out to me on Instagram or simply send one in to me to suggest it. The important thing is just you need to have a camera or someone who films it, because of course you need to be included in the music video, because who doesn't want to when they're playing a solo for a song? Why do songs not have solos anymore? It's a shame, it's really a shame. I have made most of the song, but still not everything. Still need to record the vocals. Until I'm satisfied with that, it's not gonna be that easy. Why did that just fall over? So that's pretty much it. If you want to see more, of course, subscribe to this channel to stay updated for this song and to hear the final one once it comes out. Like this video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and until next time, peace out!